Intriguing Insights podcast with Lynn
and Carl
is your weekly invitation to be a fly on the wall for the real, intriguing, yet fun conversations we like to have about life and the world around us.
From our hobbies, interests, and opinions to true crime, current events, and music. Join us as our minds wander together.
You just might be intrigued. Good morning, honey.
Good morning.
AKA Carl.
Carl A. Silcott. That's my real name, government name.
Your government name.
And they call me C Money. That's my rap name, or Seymour Cash. So, that's who I am. That's my nickname.
Don't wear it out.
Don't wear it out. And
how are you doing today, honey?
I'm doing good.
Yeah. We're here in our podcast room.
Oh, yeah.
We've got the windows open a little bit, letting in a little bit of fresh air.
Yeah, it's kind of looking like a little gloomy day, but we're going to make the best of it. So we're probably going to stay inside today. That's why we decided to talk to you wonderful people.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, here we are.
Yeah, so I'm going to introduce myself.
Who are you? Who are you?
Who am I? I am Carl Silcott, and I am from Niagara Falls, New York.
Niagara Falls.
Yeah. And I actually grew up in Florida, so my hometown is New York, and I have New York blood in me, but I grew up in Florida. South Florida.
Florida boy.
Yeah, Florida boy, for sure. I left Florida for a little bit, and I regretted it, and now I'm back. So don't leave Florida. If you got roots here and you need to see the world, go on vacation. Don't decide to try to move.
Good advice. Good advice. Florida's a really nice place. I think people like to trash Florida sometimes because, we have like Florida Man and a lot of like silly stuff happens here, but like Florida really is nice. Yeah. It's a nice place to live.
Oh yeah, and they looked at me like I was crazy when I was traveling the country. They're like, "You're from Florida?"
Really?
And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Is the Florida Man real?"
Oh gosh.
And they had so many questions because the internet, like Florida Man, wrestling alligators, all that stuff too.
Florida Man's been a thing.
Florida Man is like the perception of what people think of when you tell them you're from Florida.
See, I thought that was a more recent phenomenon, but I guess it's been a thing.
So
Florida's been making news and headlines
so
years and years.
Me coming from New York to Florida, I was so afraid of the movie Jaws.
Really?
So when I went to the beach, I was like, ooh, Jaws is in there. So I wouldn't only go so far out in the water because of the movie. I'm like, dude, we're going to get attacked by Jaws. I thought Jaws was real. But the odds of you actually getting attacked by a shark is pretty low.
Yeah, statistically.
You got a better shot at getting struck by lightning than getting attacked by a shark.
Supposedly, they really only mess with people if people are messing with them, for the most part.
Yeah.
So that's what they say, at least. I don't know, but I don't know if that's true. I suppose if they get hungry, they might go looking, but I don't think we're part of their food chain, technically. But,
Yeah, and they attack on accident.
Better safe than sorry, I suppose.
Yes. So yeah, hometown, Niagara Falls, New York. I moved to Florida around 10 or 11-ish,
okay.
12. I wasn't a teenager yet, so I was like probably 11. And I got to Florida, and baseball was my thing. That was my goal in life, was to be a professional baseball player.
So your hometowns are Niagara Falls, and Florida, Northport, Florida.
Yes, Northport, Florida,
Okay.
which always comes into the true crime thing. There's a lot of true
A lot of true
crime
crime
stories
cases
that
that
come
come
out
out.
of Northport, Florida. Somehow
You
they
know,
end up in the news.
that's good because we true crime. I'm a
Yeah.
huge true crime
So we're
fan, and
gonna
so is
cover,
he.
yeah, we're gonna cover some true crime here in the future,
Yeah.
and I want to do some of the stuff from Northport, Florida, because there are some interesting true
Yeah.
crime stories that have Northport, Florida embedded in them.
Well, I mean, so and you were there when some of those
I was
cases were
there for
taking
some of them,
place.
yeah. So I want to cover
So
some of
that
those
would be
ones.
a cool perspective to have, what the place
Oh
kind of
yeah,
felt like when those things were
yeah. And
going
I
on.
have the police. I know about them, so I don't. Hey, I don't like them, so it is what it is. You
No, I get that.
know.
Well, so tell us a fun fact about you.
Fun fact is, I like to record music. I've been trying for a long time. My first recording was on a tape deck.
Okay.
Yeah, so
We got to push the play and record at
yep,
the same time.
yep, and you got to speak into the mic, into the speaker. So back in the day, we used to be able to record, press play and record, and if you talked into the speaker, it would pick up your voice a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So we used to make mixtapes on the radio. And you press play and record, and you could record the songs, and then you could replay them
You'd
and
have to
listen.
listen to the radio to hear the song, and then you
Yes,
gotta
but if
run really quick so you don't miss the beginning.
yes, and if you don't press play and record at the right time, you mess everything up, right? So I used to have my own little radio show. I tried. I would press play and record. I would talk while the song in. So recording music and radio show is what I eventually want to see if I can do a little radio
So even
music
as a
show.
kid, you were an aspiring recording artist, whether it be a radio show or
Yeah, something
music
with
or something. You were
something
always
with
inclined.
a microphone and speaking to people.
That's interesting.
And when I was younger, I was shy, but in my profession, you have to not be shy. Especially if you're gonna go out in front of the customers, and the customers can pick up if you're nervous.
Okay.
So I did that for a while. I was a server. I was actually a really good server, and when I started taking my profession seriously, somebody pulled me aside and says, "You're really good at what you're doing, but if you want to make this a career, you have to learn how to be a chef." So he takes me aside and he goes, "Look, see that guy over there? He's 45 years old. He's a server. But if you want to make this a career, you have to know how to cook the food as well. You have to know how to run the whole entire business." So what he did is he took me under his wing and he started showing me the ins and outs of the restaurant. And being a chef, there's a lot more than just cooking. You have to know how to turn food into dollars. If you can't turn it into money, then you're wasting your time.
Well, that's excellent advice that person gave you. 'Cause,
Yeah.
basically you have learned every part of the business.
Yeah, I started as a dishwasher and I worked my way all the way up to general manager.
Wow, so you've done every job there is to do
Yeah.
in the restaurant industry pretty much.
Yes, definitely.
That's really
And
cool.
at the lowest level and now at the highest level. So I've traveled around and it's a life commitment.
You know what really impresses me about your career, honey, is that you basically took the initiative from the very beginning to learn all of that without a lot of formal training
Yes.
along the way.
Yes.
Because and one of the things that I think is really most impressive about your career is that you never went to culinary school.
No, I did not. I should probably go. I have took some classes on culinary arts, but I didn't do a traditional full run
And you
at it.
would never be able. You could put you against a chef that went to culinary school and got a degree,
And
you
I would
wouldn't be
win.
able to tell
And no,
the difference.
I would
and
win.
you would probably do much better.
Yeah.
honestly.
So I took a
So that's
couple.
what I think is impressive about
So
you.
being a general manager, right? You're a man of many hats. You have to be able to do every job, right? And I won't ask anyone to do something that I wouldn't do myself, right?
Hmm.
So a lot of the ego, because you said you had a bad experience with someone in my profession, and he was full of himself, right?
Hmm.
So you have to stay humble, because if not, if you have this huge ego, you're gonna get humbled and it's gonna be embarrassing. It's gonna be bad because you're gonna walk in and you're gonna be cocky thinking you're better than everybody else. And then when that pressure actually hits, you fumble, you fold. So cooking with pressure on you or doing anything when all eyes are on you, that's a different pressure. I took some of these guys that had the big chip on their shoulder and they could talk this and that and they were full of themselves. And then Friday night comes around, busiest night. They've talked all this big game and then boom, the pressure hits and they fumble and they start falling apart and they start panicking. And I go back there and I go, you were just saying you went to school here. This is you. This is what you can do. And you're falling apart. Let me get in here. And I would kick them out of the way. And I would take over. And I would humble them in front of a bunch of people. And then I said, I told you, next time you will listen to what I say before you start talking.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of
And
people.
I've been humbled too, so and I don't treat people badly. I try to do it in the nicest way possible, but sometimes you gotta hit them.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, and having the degree or the piece of paper that
doesn't
says
mean
that
anything to
you've
me.
done, what are XYZ classes and you've gotten these qualifications, if you can't apply it, then it really doesn't make a difference.
Yes, that's the hard part. That is the tough part.
And I think what makes you different is that you have learned all the things you've learned from experience, and that's a different kind of learning that
Hands-on
that
training,
you can
yes.
apply right away.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's less of a leap that needs to be made between the academic side and the application.
And I should probably just go and get the real degree just to shut everybody up.
It would
But-
be easy for you at this point.
Yeah,
But,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
No big deal.
well, you know what? Let's take a quick step back.
Okay.
I know that your career is important to you and it's a big part of your identity, and for good reason, because you're good at it. But tell us a little bit more about your past. I know about your past, but
Okay.
tell us a little
So
bit.
the New York beginnings is where we'll probably start. So Niagara Falls, New York. My dad was a steel worker, so he ran a steel plant in Niagara Falls, New York, and I wanted to follow in his footsteps. So I wanted to do the steel work and all that stuff too, and I did that in between restaurants and construction. And my dad actually ran a bar when I was a kid, and so I was always in a bar. I was raised in a bar. So instead of going home after school, I would go to a bar that my dad was essentially the president of a social club. So basically, I grew up in this social environment, which social clubs are actually cooler. Like a lot of people are doing it now. Instead of going out to the bar, they have these social clubs that you pay dues and you basically you're a paid member.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I got my initial start in restaurants from my dad,
Okay. So your dad was a man of many hats as well. So you said he ran a steel plant,
Yeah, so
and he also had a restaurant.
yeah, so he did,
Okay.
both. And so that's where the restaurant stuff came from. So I wanted to be just like him.
Mhm.
And so Baseball was my number one hobby. I was always playing baseball. The
When did
New
you
York,
start playing baseball? Like at what
uh,
age?
probably before I could read.
No,
So ever since a little kid,
like a toddler.
baseball was
Okay.
the only thing I cared about, you know?
Hmm.
So, yeah, the New York Yankees is my favorite baseball team. And from New York, you kind of have to root for your team, you know?
And
So,
in fact, you're covered in Yankees gear right now as we speak.
yeah.
You got the
Yeah,
Yankees
so
baseball cap,
a lot of
hat,
people
and everything.
jump on the bandwagon for certain sports teams,
Hmm.
and a lot of people say, "Oh, you only like the Yankees because of this and that." If you know me, you know me. It's tattooed all over my body, right? And I'm really from there, so
He's
it's not
legit.
it's not a bandwagon fan here. Yes. So yeah, the New York area that I was raised in was close to the Indian reservation. So we used to go to the Indian reservation, and a lot of my dad's workers were all Indian Native Americans.
Hmm.
So yeah,
His workers in the steel business or in the bar business?
in the steel business, most of them were
Okay.
from the Indian reservation. You
Okay.
know, so yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. And what about like your schooling and stuff? I know you played baseball. Was that associated with your school, or
Yeah,
was it a
yeah.
league outside of school?
A little bit of both, you know.
Okay.
So, I was pretty in tune to sports my whole life, you
Yeah.
know.
Not so much the academics.
No, not so. I wasn't focused at all. So that's one thing if I could go back, I would have focused a little bit more on the schooling aspect of education, you
I
know.
see. Okay. But you did take some culinary
Oh yeah,
stuff in
yeah,
school, right?
definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
So that, you were sort of setting
Yeah.
yourself up along that path a little bit along the way.
Yep, for sure.
A little bit. Okay. Well, that's cool. Well, I know that I know about your awesome career and all the places you've been able to travel with it. So where have you traveled and worked as a chef or in the culinary
Okay, so
restaurant industry?
yeah, so I was actually a furniture mover too for a while. That was pretty cool.
Okay.
So I did long distance moves in a semi.
Hmm.
So I would travel. I worked for a moving company in Florida, so what we would move people, and my area was the east coast of the United States.
Okay.
So I was only like 18. It was young, and they hand me. I had a semi driver that was my driver, and they would hand me a map with the addresses on it.
A paper map.
Paper map. This was before GPS was a thing.
Oh,
So
man.
there's no GPS in your car. This was,
You were the GPS.
I was the GPS, right? So you hand an 18-year-old kid a map and say, hey, they're in this order. Figure it out.
Tell us where to go.
Oof. So I did that for a while. So I got to see a lot of cool stuff along the way.
I bet.
And yeah, that was definitely a learning experience for me.
What was one of the favorite places that you got to travel doing that moving job?
So we went to New York. We went back to New York. That was so the guy that hired me was from New York. He was the owner of the thing. So that was our connection. We're both from New York. So when the New York one came up, I'm like, let's go. So we went to New York City and all that stuff, and then we went to New Jersey on the same day. And just seeing New York again after I had been gone for a while. And yeah, so the East Coast was basically my thing. And I did a couple West Coast ones, but the West Coast moves were too far. You're hauling stuff from like the tip of Florida
Mm-hmm.
out west. So I didn't want to do no West Coast
Yeah.
long
I bet
distance
that was
move.
really long grueling
Yeah,
trips.
yeah, they were pretty good, pretty long. I'd be going for a week at a time. I'd come
Wow.
back, reload the truck, and then go back out. So I did that for a couple months. I didn't really like it, but I was so young that it was cool, you know. but I wouldn't do it again unless I was the owner, you know, if I owned the truck.
All right.
So, yeah.
So, in what places have you lived and worked in the restaurant industry?
Oh, okay.
Because I think
So,
that shapes
yeah.
kind of like the things that you are
Okay.
really good at and that you like to cook for us now.
Okay.
Right.
So, I actually went to California for a little while. I didn't live there, but I was out there for like a month. And then seeing the culture of California and all that stuff, I had a job lined up in San Diego. They were waiting for me to get there.
What kind of restaurant was that?
It was an Italian restaurant.
Okay, so you were gonna cook.
Yeah,
Italian food.
yeah. And they were like, "You're hired, just get here." I was like, "Okay." I didn't know the state of California though. I didn't know how bad it was, you know? So I end up traveling the whole country. I end up getting into California. So we stop, and in the middle of the night, somebody busted all the windows out of my car and stole like a backpack. They didn't even get anything, you know? And so we call the cops. The cops show up. The cop's like, "Is anyone hurt?" I'm like, "No, everybody's good." They're like, "Okay." I'm like, "Okay." They're like,
That's
"Yeah." Well, he's like, "Have a nice day, man." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
Wow, so somebody broke into your car, stole your stuff, but because you didn't get hurt, they were like, "All right, we got other stuff to do. Bye."
So the
So that was your first experience with California. I don't blame you then for not liking it.
So the cop is getting ready to leave, and I'm hot already. I'm mad. I'm like, "Hey," I'm like, "Come here." I'm like, "You're not just gonna fucking leave." He's like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "Yo, fucking windows are all busted out." I'm like, "You're gonna do nothing." He's like, "Well, technically, there's nothing I can do." I said, What do you mean?" I'm like, "I'm on vacation. I'm not from here." He goes, "Listen, the laws are different here." I go, and he goes, "It's a misdemeanor, man." I'm like, he's like, if it's under $800 in damage, I can't do anything. I go,
Really?
"You think I'm gonna be able to replace all my windows for less than $800? He goes, "Well, no." I go, "So what's the problem?" And then he's starting to do his cop fucking thing, and I go, "Hey, all right, just shut the fuck up for a second." I said, "What happens if I come out in the middle of the night and I catch him while he's breaking into my car and I shoot him?" He goes, "I'd be taking you to jail." I'm like, "Taking me to jail?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "This is fucked up." And he's like, yeah, I'd be taking you to jail for murder." I'm like, "Man, I told the cop, I said, "Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you." And he fucking left. But the next day I was like, "Yo, I can't stay here."
Well, that's an interesting
Yeah,
experience to first have
so
to
the
face.
laws are different in different areas. So I was like, "You know what? I can't
live there
I can't
even
live
if you-
here, you know?"
I
Or I
totally
could, or
understand.
it would turn me into like a fucking crazy animal, you know? No rules.
Yeah, or just weird rules.
Or just weird rules, right?
because nobody's gonna come back you up.
They're
Wow.
they're protecting their criminals, man. It's not good. It's not good, you know.
So California, and then
California,
where
and then
else
I ended
after
up
that have
I
you-
ended up in Dallas.
Dallas. Okay.
Yeah, so I learned. I worked for this company called Saltgrass Steakhouse. It's actually Landry's Food Group. So he owns a lot of stuff. He owns the Houston Rockets. So he has a TV show out, or I don't know if it's still a TV show, but it's called The $1 Billion Investor.
Okay.
So he has his own TV show. He's pretty cool guy.
Cool. And so
You know.
that was like steakhouse.
Yeah, Tex-Mex.
Tex-Mex steakhouse.
So it's like Saltgrass Steakhouse is deep roots in Dallas, and they're not too big all over the place, but Texas is their main area. And if you've been to Texas, you know that Texas is a cattle-driven state, and it's the best food if you're a steak person, you know.
Is that your favorite type of food to cook?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Tex-Mex, steakhouse
Yeah.
sort of stuff. Okay.
Yep. I like surf and turf too, so I like to integrate seafood in there
Okay.
as well.
Nice.
So
That makes perfect sense because I'll tell you,
steak
you've
and
made
seafood.
the best steak I've ever had.
That's what we try to do every day.
And the Tex-Mex that you've made for me,
The Tex-Mex is my
It's been-
favorite. Yeah.
chef's kiss. Wow.
Yeah. So going to Dallas was a good thing, and that's where I picked up the Spanish that I do know.
The kitchen Spanish, you
Kitchen
call it.
Spanish. Yeah, that's what it is.
I suspect that you know more Spanish than you.
I
let
do,
on.
but I don't like to. It confuses me. It hurts a little bit sometimes. Hurts my head, but
hurts your
I
head?
can turn it on and turn it off.
Okay.
You know.
And you had to do that because I
I
guess
had
a
to,
lot of
yeah.
the folks you worked with
Well,
over in Texas
I was the only.
didn't speak English.
I was the only English speaking person,
Okay.
and if I lived in Texas, I'd probably still be working for them because they were pretty cool, and they actually accepted me. You know, I seen a lot of guys come in that they didn't accept, so I broke them. You know,
You broke them. You
I broke them.
broke the mold.
Yep,
Broke the ice.
broke the ice.
Cool. Wow. So, yeah, very, very interesting life and experiences you've had. And that's one of the things I love about you is that you've got a variety of experiences that you have drawn, your style from and your lessons from and your life philosophies from. And I just think you're just cool, honey.
Yeah,
You're one of my favorite people.
it's trial and error here. You know,
Yeah.
so I got all the bumps and bruises from it, but I
Sometimes
am
that's the best way to learn.
battle
unfortunately.
tested, if that makes sense.
Yes, sir, you are.
You know,
You are.
so I can handle it. I can handle the pressure.
Yeah.
You know.
So, since we don't just, work is not all there is to life, right?
No.
Tell me about your hobbies. I know your hobbies. but,
Okay, so hobbies is fitness. Since I was an athlete, I have to stay physically active.
Mhm.
So I try to integrate some sports, but you can only play organized sports for so long, you know? So fitness is definitely a hobby. Biking is definitely a way to keep your lower
Mhm.
part of your body in shape.
All part of fitness.
Yep. Gardening is
Gardening.
a hobby. I do it for a different reason than you. You like the beauty side of it, and I do more of the food stuff,
You like the production
the
side of gardening.
production
Yeah,
side
I
of
like the
it.
production too.
And it goes hand in hand
Yeah.
because without that pretty flower, that onion won't grow properly. So
because we
it-
won't attract bees.
yes. So it's a
Pollinators.
science. It's a science, and I'm learning, but I love it. I love it.
Okay.
So those are some hobbies. The podcast that we're talking about right now is another hobby.
It's hobby.
It's in the
Our
newest
hobby. It's
hobby.
a shared hobby.
It's a shared hobby for sure.
Yeah.
And then making music is another one. Art. I got a lot of art in me. Painting. You got any other ones that you may want to shed light on that you know?
I mean, I think those are pretty good ones.
Yeah.
I think probably for me, the most unexpected hobby was the art.
The art.
You,
Okay.
you never struck me as an artsy person. You struck me as a creative person,
Well,
which makes sense, you know?
so I look at everything as art. There's art in everywhere. Everywhere you look is art.
Mhm.
Whether it's photography or a drawing. I like the photography too. I forgot to add that. That should definitely be on the hobby list for sure because it's some things that I don't know too much about, but I'm still very interested and intrigued on the photography side of art.
Yeah.
And it's probably easier, you know?
No, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's
Digital
creativity involved.
digital
There's
photos.
all different types of photography. That is one of the hobbies that I would like to get
I
into as
want to
well. I
get
want to
into
learn
it
more about it.
more
You know.
because the stuff that we did do is good. You know,
Yeah.
some of
We
that
have
artwork.
a Canon T4i, I
Ooh,
think,
Canon
camera.
T4i.
It's one of those fancy cameras that I bought years ago that really I didn't get into using very much. I don't know how it works on its automatic mode. I don't know any
Well,
manual
it
stuff,
actually
but it'd be
aged.
cool to learn.
It actually aged well, so you picked a good one. You know,
Oh yeah.
because it's a pretty old camera, but it still
Yeah, it's
does.
decently old, but like I said, it hasn't been used very much.
Well, yeah, we actually need to
So
use it
we need
more
to use it, and I'd like to learn how to do all the
to
photography stuff.
actually
I don't know, it'd be
use it
fun.
properly,
Yeah.
right?
We've taken some great pictures,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah. We're gonna take more.
yeah.
Maybe we'll film with it. It does have a
Perhaps.
function, right?
Oh yeah, it does.
Okay. But yeah, technology has changed, and I'm trying to stay in tune with technology as well.
Yeah.
So I could put that in the hobby list, right?
Technology,
Technology is a hobby.
it is a hobby.
Yeah. Fixing shit that's not broken.
Breaking shit so that you can fix shit.
No,
It's
no,
not-
I don't do that. I try to fix something and then break it is what happens.
Oh,
You know?
Okay.
Oh, whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
whatever. Okay. Yeah. You
Custom.
just you like to tinker.
I like to
That's what it
customize.
is.
Yeah. I want the one of ones.
You're a tinkerer.
Yes. I want the one of one products.
Okay.
You know?
You like to have
I
the
don't-
original.
Yeah,
You like
because
to be
I'm not
original and-
I don't
and, you know,
follow the
create things.
Well, yeah, I don't follow the masses. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
What do they call it? The hype beast, I think they call it.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know what these kids are saying these days.
I don't know what these kids are saying either. You know? All right.
So what scares you in life? What are your fears?
Fear. Being by myself, I think, is a fear.
Hmm.
Not like being by myself, like just like being alone. If that makes sense.
So not so. If what I'm hearing is that you're saying it's not like being physically by yourself, like alone in a room, but
No,
being
that's
alone in life.
no,
in
no, no,
general?
no, the other
No?
way.
The other way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like if you put me in a room by myself, it would drive me nuts.
Yeah.
You
I think
know?
eventually it would drive everybody nuts.
Well, yeah, I
but
would
you
get
just
out.
Don't like it.
So if I was in prison and they put me in the cell by myself,
Hmm.
I would have to find a way to get out.
Okay. We'd hear about you on the news.
Yeah.
Escaping from. You'd be the escapee.
I would try, yeah, for sure. So yeah, that is a thing. And drowning,
Hmm.
because I almost drowned one time,
Yeah.
a long time ago. Yeah, so that's the two fears, I believe.
Being alone and drowning.
And drowning, yeah.
Those are.
And I can swim my ass off,
Yeah.
but I almost drowned when I was a kid.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's it.
All right. Well, so what does the future hold for you? Because you are only how old?
40. I'm
Only
40.
40.
40, yeah.
You got plenty of life.
Yeah,
You
hopefully.
could probably live beyond another 40 years. So what are you gonna do with all that time?
I'm a firm believer of if you do not use it, you lose it.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna stay physically active as long as I can,
Okay.
and I'm gonna keep building on myself, and I'm gonna keep the positive energy that I have going with you, and we are gonna build life together. You know.
Yeah. That sounds amazing.
Yes.
So as far as like, the whole if you don't use it, you lose it thing, I firmly believe that as well. Just, in terms of your health and your physical activities. Because yeah, you gotta keep yourself fit as long as because otherwise you're not gonna be able to enjoy it as you get older. So what's a new physical activity that maybe you haven't done in the past, even though you've been athletic your whole
Well, yeah.
life?
So
What's
I'm
something that you'd want to pick up as you age or in the future?
well. So
What's
what
something
I've
you've been interested
what
in?
I've been working on and this is a good advice for anyone. When you're young, you can go, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
You can run. You can do all that. But when you start aging a little bit, you can still do all those things. But it's the recovery time that takes an effect because you don't heal as fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you do not stretch properly, the recovery time takes longer.
Mm.
So I've been working on making sure I'm stretched. Yoga. I'd like to focus more in on the yoga.
Okay.
But getting a good proper stretch before you do any physical activity it helps, one, your performance, and two, the recovery time that it takes for you to heal. Because you could go out and play basketball today and you can do good. If you don't stretch properly, when you wake up the next day, you can't move. You're everything hurts. Why? It's going to hurt anyways, but if you stretch properly, you're going to be able to bounce back faster. So the recovery time takes longer when you age. But if you're limber, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, well, that's important. You gotta focus on it more as you age to maintain that flexibility and that range of motion and all that stuff. So that's pretty cool. What's a major life goal that you have that you maybe haven't accomplished yet, or are you still working on, or a dream that you want to accomplish before the end of your life?
I think I would like to be a business owner. Something.
What kind of business? Do you know?
Probably maybe something to do with maybe a handyman or something like that.
Well, that will definitely feed into your tinkering.
Yeah, tinkering and
Desire.
art and helping. I like to
That's
help
true,
people, you know? But yeah, I don't want to put like one source, you know? That's why it would be under handyman
Okay.
because of all the previous construction building stuff that I have experience with. You know, and I don't tell a lot of people that. Everyone knows me as the chef or the restaurant worker, but I have a lot of experience in drywall, and remodeling houses is what I like to do.
Yeah. Well, and we've done a lot of that.
Oh, we've done a
to
lot.
Our
Yeah.
house, which has been fun.
And it's coming along great, you know?
Yeah. Work in progress, but it's been fun for sure. What legacy do you want to leave behind? How do you want people to remember you when they think of Carl A. Silcott?
Yes. So
What do you want them to think
what
of?
I want to leave behind is I want people to know that I am a good person to people, and I do like to help. And I want everyone to know that they can be comfortable around me. I don't judge people, whether or not you're from the richest family or the poorest family. I try to treat everybody as equals. And I just want to show love to the world. I want to give it back, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to be known as a good, solid person that fucked his life up and bounced back from it, you know? So it's not over, and you can make it happen, but you have to put in the work, you know? So I want to be known as a good, solid person overall.
Okay. Well, I think you're well on your way. And I will say, I think the world of you, honey.
All right.
It's been fun
It's great.
getting to know you even more this morning.
Yes.
Over our coffee and getting our fresh air from outside, right?
Yes, 100%.
All right.
See you next time.
See you next